All right, let's go ahead and move on and talk about perfect fourths and fifths. The reason that these are called perfect and not major or minor, I don't have a great answer for. That's just kind of how it goes. Some things in music happened, and I don't have a great reason. That's just kind of the way they are. So remember from our last video, we were looking at the number of half steps between two notes. So we're just going to jump in and look at these. First of all, with the quantity or the number that we're looking for. This is either going to be a fourth or a fifth. Right now, that's all I have chosen. I'm in the key of C, just the naturals here. I've also expanded the range. I do require quality here, and my intervals, I have only chosen perfect fourths and fifths. Again, the diminished and augmented we will get into for the advanced college level stuff. So with this, I have a C and an F. The interval, the number is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it's really easy just to go here and click perfect fourth. But I do want to walk through the number of half steps again to help us out and to make sure that you can use the little chart that I'm going to share with you as well. So over on the keyboard, I have a middle C and an F. So here's a C, here's an F. The number of half steps on this one is, remember, don't count this first note. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go to my chart, and that tells me that it is a perfect fourth. All right, so that's pretty easy. Next one, that distance is going to be a 0, or sorry, this is a 1 when you're counting the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an A and an E. You can't quite see that on my camera. Can I move this without breaking everything? Yes, I can. Here is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on my chart, that tells me it's a perfect fifth. Okay, so that's pretty basic on those. Here I have a B and an F sharp. Let's see if I can go back down. So my B is just below my C. Here's an F sharp. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is a perfect fifth again. Now, a quick bit on this diminished and augmented. This can kind of get us into things a little bit. I'm going to add in a diminished fifth and an augmented fourth. This is going to help us understand a little bit more about the numbers and why it matters, and those sorts of things. So here I have a C and an F sharp. So my distance, my interval, the number is going to be a 4 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The notes, we have a C and then an F sharp. Now if you have a keyboard and you can play those, you can know that doesn't quite fit. This is going to be described as a fourth, but it's not going to be perfect, and here's why. From a C to an F sharp, the number of half steps I have is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I go to my chart over here, and I have 6. With 6 intervals, or 6 half steps between them, it is going to be an augmented, that A stands for augmented fourth. And so I'm going to come over in here and click that. Okay? I'm going to find a diminished. This is another augmented fourth. Gotta go. Here is a diminished fifth, actually. Let's walk through it. I have a G and then a D flat. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that is 6. But notice here, I'm actually going to shift over on my chart a little bit because it's a fifth, like the number is 5, I can't describe it in terms of a fourth. Okay? So when you have 6 half steps, it's either going to be an augmented fourth or diminished fifth. You have to know whether the distance is 4 or 5. In this case, the distance is 5, so it's a diminished fifth. Even though when you play them on the keyboard, they're the same thing. Okay, a perfect fifth is here, a diminished fifth is here, a perfect fourth is here, but an augmented fourth is back there. So an augmented fourth and a diminished fifth are actually the exact same notes. But because it is written in a different way, so this would be a G flat for the fifth, or it'd be an F sharp for the augmented fourth. because it matters how it's written. That tells you whether it's an augmented fourth or diminished fifth. Fun note about this, I have talked at times about a tritone in choir. This is a tritone. That's the distance of sirens that they go between in Europe. Okay, and it's really disturbing. And yeah, so that is a quick thing into augmented fourth, diminished fifth. And that kind of stuff we'll get into more, because there are also augmented thirds and diminished thirds and sixths and sevenths and all that kind of stuff. And that's getting into the advanced college level stuff. So at this point, you should go to musictheory.net and do some more practice with the intervals. I would say start with just perfect fourths, perfect fifths. If you want the challenge, go ahead and add diminished fifth and augmented fourth, because those will be different. And then the last level on a basic level that you should be is adding all major minor seconds and thirds and perfect fourths and perfect fifths. That is going to give you a great basis for being able to build chords and identify things in that way. So take some time and work and practice on that stuff.